Hello, and welcome to the Web Development Technologies course. My name is Jim Kaufman of Rankin Technical College, and I will be your instructor. To kick things off, let me share my journey of becoming a software developer. It began during the late 1990s while I was working part-time at a real estate office. Our task involved utilizing computers to access information on properties. Once I discovered that we had internet access, I started exploring various websites. This exploration sparked my curiosity about how web pages are created. I learned how to view the source code of these pages, which fueled my growing interest in understanding the mechanics of website development. As the demand for software development roles surged during that period, I made the decision to enroll in a certificate program to further my skills to gain employment in this field. Following the completion of the program, I secured a position as a junior programmer at AG Edwards, a stock brokerage firm that was later acquired by Wells Fargo. I also worked at MasterCard and served as a government contractor for various federal agencies, including the Department of Defense, the United States Department of Agriculture, the National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration, and others as well. I hope that my years of experience in the software development industry will help you build your career in this field as well. I wanted to go ahead and discuss a little bit about the application web development program at Rankin. It consists of 4 different courses. This one here is the first one on the list, which is Web Development Technologies. And it is basically about building websites. It's using technologies called HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. This course will provide a foundation for a strong future in web development. We will go through all the little aspects of these technologies to build websites. The next course is Programming Fundamentals with C, and that is a Microsoft technology, C Sharp, and that is the second one in the program. Now, both of them are the first year courses, and so that there's going to be some people in this course that have already taken the C Sharp course, and there's going to be some that this is going to be their first course, which will be the Web Development Technologies. That one can be flipped depending on when you start and which course is available. The same thing is also for the second year courses. There's 2 database driven courses. One of them, the first one, the AWD 1111, database driven web development, is a extension really of web development technologies, but it really gets into a lot more advanced JavaScript programming. The AWD 1115 database driven application is kind of an extension of the C Sharp, but it uses a architectural design pattern, which is model view controller. Those 2 courses also could be switched. It all depends on what's available at the time. But you do have to take the first 2 before you can take the third one or fourth one in the list. I did want to go ahead and show you a little bit about a couple of these, a couple examples. The first one is websites, and so I'm not really going to show that. Everybody's visited websites and knows what that's about as far as just what a website is. But the other, I will go ahead and the second one and the third one, I'll show you, a couple different examples here. So this here is a is some screenshots of a portfolio one of the students has completed. And this student is graduating here in May, and he also, which is fantastic, he got a job, and so right after graduation he'll be starting at an employer. So here are some examples of C sharp applications, and C sharp applications are desktop applications. And basically what that means is it runs on the desktop. It's going to run on your computer or your laptop. It doesn't run within a web browser like web-based applications, right? Some of the purposes of a desktop application. Let's say you work at a hospital. Well, a hospital has some very important, vital type tasks that they have to complete. And so, sometimes they use software that's on their computers, and this software, what they can't afford to lose an internet connection and so forth. So they may have some different software packages that they use so that they can process information, being able to maybe bring patients in, and things like that. And so it's very vital for them to be able to continue operations even if they didn't have an internet connection. So that's just kind of one example of why you'd want to use maybe a desktop app. There's several other reasons too. I was just kind of giving you a little example. But these here are some examples of little desktop apps that are built in that second course, that C sharp course. And as you can see here, the student has a link for each one of these, and it uses the source code. This goes to a GitHub repository. And we'll talk about this. You're going to learn how to use this because we will be using GitHub in all four of our courses for this program. So just want to kind of give you a little quick introduction there about that. I'll also show you an example here. This is an application that you will build in the advanced JavaScript course. And I look at this being more, this is more than a website. This is more, I would classify this as a web application where you've got, a lot of different functionality available here. You're not just looking at information. This actually has some specific functions. And what this is an issue tracker. What an issue tracker is software projects have things wrong with them sometimes, right? And users and administrators and so forth find some things that are going to report, hey, this isn't working, that's not working. Well, that's what an issue tracker does. It tracks all the little software problems, which are usually called bugs, and they call them software bugs, right? So an issue tracker is just a way to track bugs that are in the software, right? And so that's what this is about. And so here's just some examples of how this works. You're searching for something there. You can edit a bug. Here's a bug editor. You can make changes here, update that, add a new comment, so forth. That's just a little sample thing that we built. It's actually the final project in the third course, which is the advanced JavaScript course. So you will all be building that eventually. So just kind of want to give you a little background on these different courses that are available. So here's some jobs that are specific to this course, the Web Development Technologies course. And the first one is a front end developer. And what that means when we say front end also could mean like client side, and it's the development that is done to to see what you see in the browser, right? It's the view of the browser. Whereas, a back end developer would be someone who would be building software on the server side. So users wouldn't see the back what the back end development is. That's the back end development is, there's some programming languages, there's databases, and it's taking that data and performing some logic on that with computer languages and returning that back to the user, which they see in the browser, right? But this job here is a front end development, and this is all about, as you can see here, just like in our course, what our course is about. The same. Whoop, didn't mean to do that. Same thing that our course is about is the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript languages, right? Now, UI designer is a user interface, which is that front end also, like your it could be, but it could be more than just websites. A lot of times it is websites, but it could also be some other kinds of applications on the front end, and it's all about building that UI, but from a user interface, from a website perspective, there are UI designers, and a lot of the skills you will build in this class would be very beneficial in a position like this as well. Now, web developer usually has, and if you can see like the third line of this one, you also see the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, like what we have in this course. But they also have some expertise in the server-side scripting, right? And so usually this is kind of a dual role where they're both doing the front-end development and some back-end development as well, right? Server-side, and also called server-side development, right? So just kind of want to give you a little exposure to, a few different jobs that are, and how they are kind of similar to the skills that you will be building in this course. So this course is going to be an online course, and it's going to be self-paced, kind of on demand, where you will be viewing videos and doing different assignments, homework, labs, and written test, and you will be submitting those for grading, right? But all of it will be kind of on demand, self paced. You won't need to come to a online session every day. Most you will be using YouTube videos and completing your work, your assignments, your school assignments, right? In addition to that, we're going to have individual weekly discussions, and the reason for that is it's very easy to have a disconnect between the students and instructors in an online class, and so we're going to have probably starting the second week, we'll start having one-on-one discussions, and it could range anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes, and maybe you'll have some questions about things. Maybe you wanted to review something. You need some guidance on some areas. And there could be other topics as well to discuss. So it's just a way for us to kind of meet, see where you're at, see if you're struggling, see what you like to do, what you don't like to do, and just go from there and see how that develops over the course of the 11 weeks we'll be together, right? So for that, you don't have to have your video enabled. It's not necessary. But we'll probably be using the Discord server, the Rankins AWD's Discord server for that voice communications that we'll be having, okay? Now, there's 2 textbooks for this course. There's an HTML5 and CSS one, and also there's a JavaScript and jQuery one. These books are really important from the point of view of learning some of the basic fundamentals, and also there's written tests for many of the chapters that we will we will be covering, and a lot of what's in those written tests come right from the book. So be important for you to have these textbooks. Okay. The assignments for this class will be in the form of homework, hands-on test, labs, and written test. Okay. Also, there will be some additional resources, some other reading materials, study guides, and other handouts that will be provided to assist you. Besides the online version of this course is also offered at the St. Louis campus, and it runs from Monday through Thursday from 8:05 a.m. to 2:25 p.m. So if you prefer to go to the campus instead of online, that option's available to you. Also, if you just want to go check it out sometime and see what it's like, I encourage you to do so. Also, if you live closer to the St. Louis campus, I'm closer to the Wentzville campus. But if you're closer to the St. Louis campus and you need some help with something, there's the instructor there. His name's Mr. Gagelman, and he will make some time to help you with anything you need help with. So a lot of that time from that 8:05 a.m. to 2:25 p.m., especially probably the second half of that, most of that's a lot of lab work anyhow. So if you wanted to make an appointment to go up there, and he can help you with any areas of concern you have. Okay, it's just another option that's available to you. Just make sure that if you do go, make sure you adhere to the campus dress code, and you don't you want to make sure that you let me know about it, and we'll also talk to Mr. Gagelman and let him know you're coming as well. One thing that I think is going to be really cool in this course is, well, we're going to have a midterm exam. And this midterm exam is going to be about building a version of a website for a nonprofit organization called Connecting Through Charity. And what we will be doing is each of you will build your own version, okay? And currently they only have a Facebook page. And then the director of Connecting Through Charity will choose one of the students' completed websites to be used as their official website going forward. So I think that's pretty cool. I think that's pretty cool. I think that I hope everybody enjoys that. A couple of areas we'll kind of want to discuss. As far as written tests really can't be submitted late, but there's going to be some times maybe that some of you are going to have some assignments that you're not going to get finished on time. So assignments are due on Sunday by midnight, and if there's for some reason you cannot get something submitted by midnight on Sunday, it will be considered late. The good news is that, you know, I will accept late homework, but there'll be a 10% penalty off the top. So, for instance, an assignment that's worth 100 points, 10% would be taken off the top. You'd start with 90 points. Let's say you did a couple things correctly, lost another 10 points. Your final grade would be 80 points or 80%. So, just because you're late, don't mean you want to give up. You can still submit it. It'll just be late. It'll kind of lower your grade a little bit. But, that opportunity is there for you to still submit your work. And the thing is, though, you just want to be careful not to do that too much. You start getting behind, and it can really snowball on you because, this is a very aggressive course in that, it's a 14 credit hour course. So, you need to really be careful about staying on top of your work. Very easy to get behind. So how to do well in this course? Like I said, this is a 14 credit hour course. Comparing that to other college courses, most of you, and I know from my experience in college, many of the courses I took were all 3 credit hours. Well, this is like taking 5 of those 3 credit hour courses, right? That 5 of them would be 15. This is 14 credit hours. So a significant commitment of your time is necessary to do well in this course. And also, this summer course is a little more condensed. It's a 54-day course as opposed to the spring and fall semesters, which are 80 days. Unfortunately, the same amount of material is expected to be completed. The number of contact hours and what contact hours are, it's basically hours you're doing something for the course, and that could be looking at the videos, or doing labs or homework assignments, right? So the total amount of contact hours is around 320 hours. So if for a 11-week course, 320 contact hours, that equates to approximately 30 hours a week. So that's a significant amount of time is needed. Now, some people will not need all that time. Everybody is at maybe a different level or different stage. Um, so just because it takes you longer, don't mean that you're not as smart as someone. People are at different levels. Some already have some extensive skills or education in this area, and others do not. And so the important thing is to work hard and to stick with it. And if you're willing to keep pushing forward, you are bound to pass this course, right? Um, like I mentioned earlier, very important to read this book because besides giving you a good foundation, many of the written tests are also taken right out of the book. Okay, don't be afraid to ask for help. We have various options available. Like I said, you can go down if you're closer to downtown. You can go and Mr. Gagelman can help you. If you're closer to Wentzville and you want me to meet you out at Wentzville, I can meet you there. Or we can meet online to work through some things as well. Um, and another option is there are also assistants to help out. You can call them tutors or want, but they're assistants that are available that can help you get through some things if you're struggling in some areas. We all struggle at times, so there's nothing to be ashamed about. It's all part of life, and if the only way you get better at things is to struggle, right? So don't don't have any concern. Please don't have any concern about that. Like I said, the most important thing is don't give up. Keep at it. You can do this, right? Some other areas that I want to go over a little bit, and this is just some student handbook review here. A lot of the items in the student handbook do not really pertain to online courses. A lot of what's in the student handbook is for in-person courses, but there are still some policies that we need to pay close attention to. Um, First of all, treating members of the ranking community with respect, and so you if you're interacting with students, alumni, employees, your instructors, different people that work in the administration part of ranking. You just need to make sure that we treat everyone with dignity and respect, and we're all adults, and we need to need to conduct business in a professional and responsible manner. Another area that's very important is attendance. So for this course, attendance is taken once a week. When you go to an in-person course, it's every day. If you were going to the downtown every day, attendance is taken. So for this, attendance is just taken once a week. So the most that you want to, you don't want to miss more than once, 1 week. And it's actually very easy to make sure that you don't do that. And that's because the way attendance is determined is by checking in your assignments. So if you check in, if you every week you make sure that you check in at least something, then you're going to be marked as present. And that's all you really have to do. So really there's, you know, you really shouldn't have a problem with getting that done. So and just to let you know, so if you did miss one time, you know, things can happen. Um, and you did miss once, if it wasn't, you know, obviously if it's an emergency situation, you know, you had COVID. If you have a written note that you had COVID, then, you know, we can go ahead and, you know, that's not a problem, right? But but for any other absences, there's not really something that was an emergency, something that we've got some documentation, then, you know, it's going to be considered an absence, and and you'll get a warning. But the second one, at the second one, you'd be removed from the course, and you can appeal that. But just to let you know how that works. So another area that's important to consider is academic honesty. We want to make sure that we're not cheating in any way. We're not using other students' work. And you know, I'm sure you've all heard, you know, when you cheat, you're just cheating yourself, and which is which I believe and is very true. But you know, it's really even more evident like in a course in a program like this, because when you complete this program, you know, you're going to have to go and show and demonstrate that you've got the skills and abilities to do this, to do a job in this area, right? You'll have interviews. And if you cannot, if you haven't been actually doing your work, you're going to have problems convincing an interviewer that you've got the skills and ability to do so. So that when we say that you're only cheating yourself, I think in this case it's really, really important. Another area is the work ethic grade. So besides just your academic grades, there's also a work ethic grade, and that work ethic grade adjusts your overall grade a little bit one way or another. Everyone starts out with meets expectations, which is the second one here on the list, meets expectations. And from there, you could move into a category of exceeding expectations, needs improvement, or does not meet expectations, right? Um, so, uh, so lots of different things can move you one direction or another, and I think on the next slide we'll see a little bit more about that. If you need any more information about this, please contact the Student Success Center, though. So these are the core work ethic traits. It's about pride and performance, ability to get along with others, positive attitude and approach, respect the workplace, and honesty. So the second one in the row here, it's a little grayed out. This one is where everybody starts, right? And from here, certain areas you could become exceeding in one of these areas. One of these areas from over here, you could become exceeding, or you could go to the other side, depending on how you handle things and how consistent or inconsistent you are, right? By turning in late work all the time, attendance issues, things like that, then you tend to start moving towards the right side of these, right? So, just want to make sure that you know you turn in your work, you respect others, try to get along with everybody, and you'll do just fine. So I think this course we're going to be starting here is an important first step to gaining employment in the industry. Um, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you will enjoy it and find it beneficial and rewarding. I look forward to helping you and guiding you through this journey. Next, we'll go ahead and discuss the syllabus. Okay, so like I said earlier, this is summer 2024 course, is online and on demand, meaning that you will kind of approach this in a self-paced way, and you will view chapter lectures and complete homework assignments. So, the St. Louis campus has a bookstore. The Wentzville campus does not. So if you are now, I know they won't send books to individual addresses like to your home or anything. You will have to pick up a book. If you live closer to the St. Louis campus, you can go down there and pick up a book. I would just make sure before you go there, you contact the bookstore to make sure they have one. Um, I know they had 10 HTML books um, last I checked. There's 9 people in our class, but there are a few people at the downtown location also that will need books. They'll probably order additional books as well, but just make sure if you go down there that you contact the bookstore first. Now, if you live closer over to the Wentzville campus, what we can do is we can have like a shipment of books sent. So you'll have to let me know if you want your book at Wentzville. I can contact the bookstore and have those books. If there's four people that need a book that live closer to the Wentzville campus, then I can have them sent out to the Wentzville campus, and you can pick them up there. Okay, we'd already talked a little bit about some policies that are important for the online courses. The attendance is important. Maximum absences is 2. Discussed academic honesty. Now here's the overall breakdown of the courses, of the course. Here's final project of 10%, hands-on tests are 30%, and homework, lab, and written test each are 20%. Here's the overall grade scale from A on down, right? So this is just a suggested workload table as far as number of hours for each area. And this is what I was talking about the contact hours. So this is 320 contact hours. And like I said, that comes out to about 30 hours a week. Some students won't need 30 hours a week. Others will spend more than 30 hours a week. We'll go ahead and take a look at inside rank in a little bit. So I'm going to change this to student view, so this will be similar to what you'll see. So if you bring up this course, it has the basic information, basic instructor information, course information. Books, course. Go down a little bit. You can see. So what I did was, because I don't know, people might not have books right away, right? Might take a little bit. So but we will move through chapters pretty quickly. So you want to try to get a hold of books as soon as you possibly can. And I don't know if I mentioned it. So the books are part of your tuition. So I think they're all covered. I don't think there shouldn't be any additional charges for those books. But here are the first three chapters. I just want to make sure these all work. But one thing about this you can't highlight anything or that. These are image based, so each one's an image. But you can read each of these chapters, and these are the first three chapters, which we'll be covering the first week. Let's make sure the third one works also. Okay, that's good. So, but like I said, we won't be we're not allowed to provide you with all the different chapters. So you will need to pick up a book. Um, I don't have all the different chapters, so here are the first three though. Um, we'll talk about when we go over our environment setup. We'll go over the GitHub Classroom some more, and this is basically here we can click on this. So as you can see, this was all the online students that we have. I already got that set up for us. Here will be playlist, YouTube playlist. Nothing out there yet, but I will have something out there shortly. Here's our Discord server. Just click on it just so you can see it. Here's some different online tutorials. And here's some additional information just for you. Obviously you want to get through the stuff that you need to get through, but here's some other additional information that's also available for you. I don't want to go through all these little things. I don't see a big benefit right now, but what else did I want to talk about? So one thing here is coursework. So this is where you come in to see your different assignments, right? I went ahead and enabled just a couple of them just for an example purposes so you can see it. So like here's your chapter 2 homework. And there's going to be a couple different ways for you to access this. This is one way through Inside Ranking. But I'm also planning on every week sending you a list at the beginning of the week of all your assignments and links to all your assignments just to make things a little easier. But this is another way to also come in and see your assignments. You will have to come in here to view your grades and perform other things as well. One of the biggest thing is the written test. You'll have to come into Inside Ranking to do your written test. But all the homework, hands-on test, and labs, then will all be checked into your GitHub account. So the two ways to turn in homework will be a written test through Inside Ranking, and everything else will be in the GitHub repository. And so what we're going to go through what the GitHub repository is, how to set it up, and everything. So don't worry about all that. But just wanted to let you know those are the two ways. So back to this. This is just an example of one of the homework assignments that you'll be doing. And here, so you're using a Git repo. It gives you instructions on what to do here, right? So let's go back. Let's go here. The other thing I wanted to show you. So I kind of already took the written test is open and cannot be. So once we're past the Sunday deadline, though, one thing about written test, I said that you could make up work. Written tests are one you can't make up. So once we're past that deadline, And it's going to be a Sunday, the Sunday at midnight every week. Most of those weeks will have written tests that'll be due. So need to make sure that you have them in Sunday. So it might be something you want to kind of make sure you don't wait until the last minute to get that completed. Try to get that done, well before Sunday, so you don't butt up. Something comes up and you miss out on that, because that's something, once that deadline come, we cannot make those up, right? So just to kind of show you, yours is going to look a little differently, because I already took this earlier just to try it. But here's the questions, and basically, you're going to make your selection, on here, and then oh, I ain't the right one. You have to choose the right one here. There you go. But you make a selection. They're all multiple choice, and then when you get done with it, you're going to go ahead and submit your written test. So all written tests, like I said, have to be performed inside Rankin, right? So to continue with the syllabus here, if you need any assistance with homework, so forth, like I said, you can meet with me online, or if you want to meet in person, I can meet with you at the Wentzville campus. Also, the option is available for you to meet Mr. Gagelman down at the St. Louis campus if you want something in person. And then the other option is there's different assistants available, tutors that can help you out as well. So them are your options if you need some additional help, which we all do need help at times. So don't feel bad about that at all. If there's if you have any disabilities or have any kind of items that you need some special accommodations, you can contact the Student Success Center, or contact Patrick Glenn at the Mission Counselors at Rankin. So most of this, even though we have the St. Louis office in Wentzville, the online course, even though it's online, it really kind of goes through the Wentzville office, and so the admission counselor for that is Patrick Glenn. So you can contact him. That's within the syllabus, right? And so also we have career services, help with resumes and job placement. So if there's as far as snow days and campus emergencies, for an online student, it's really not going to matter. We're still, doesn't matter what the weather is. We will still have our deadlines and our assignments, and so really does not impact us very much, right? Let's go over the course schedule a little bit. So this course schedule here is each day, and what I'm planning on doing is really making it a little easier and a little more, easy to follow along and cause less confusion. As beginning of the week, I'm going to send you a list of everything that's due that week and the links to those. So just make it a lot easier for you. And a lot of it in the syllabus, this is more of a suggestion. It kind of gets hard sometimes when you get into, 2, 3, 4 weeks. Things could change depending on where we are with a class. And we're going to try to, between our class and the downtown class, we're going to try to keep things in sync as much as possible. I'm sure it won't be perfectly aligned, but we're going to try to do our best. But like I said, it kind of gets hard a few weeks in. You might have to change a few things. So I wouldn't go in here in the syllabus and look forward too far in advance, because it will probably change, right? But like I said, here's each day, and here's the day one. And what I'm doing is homework, it's all due on the 19th. So each day I'm telling you on the 19th. So that's by the end of that's always going to be always on a Sunday, right? By Sunday by noon, I mean by midnight, you'll have to complete the work, right? So, all right. I don't think there's a lot more really to discuss on this at this point. So I'm going to leave it at that. I hope everybody has a good day. And our next video will be about setting up your environment. Thank you and take care.